in the days when actually I got into, the area of developing with the teams, when you reach the top level, as you said, let's start it with the tires, for instance. I was a young test driver back in 64.
Mm.
And for some reason, I was lucky that I got, they tried me out and they liked the honest input that I was giving them. And the engineers thought it was like a fresh voice. I was not, sometimes when you get the veterans, they're set in their ways, and sometimes they tell the engineer what they want to hear and all that. And so I was brutally honest, and they liked that. And that paved the way for me to begin and continue on. And I was, as you say, we were at the beginning where it were like 6.5-inch tread pattern, on the tires. And quickly we expanded on that. And it was, to me, it was so exhilarating actually to see the amount of progress that we were making in the racing aspect of it. And again, from the progress we were making from year to year was just amazing, as I told you. The thing also to remember is the fact that for a couple of 3 years, we didn't even have to make any improvements on the cars. There was so much going on. The tires were just obviously, but then all of that transmitted to their production because from the fact that, we were getting to a wider tire, lower profile, all of a sudden Firestone comes out for the passenger cars with the wide oval Firestone tires. And I did a test with the wide ovals, I remember, at Indianapolis Raceway Park, with one of the Mustangs. And what a difference, all of a sudden. So as you could see, from racing, I think that progress accelerated because in racing, it's necessary, to get things done quickly. And that's the reason why the companies are involved to begin with. There has to be some desire or appeal, from the executives, to be part of an interesting sport. But at the same time, it's got to make business sense. And it does. I mean, the companies that are involved even to today, that supplying engines and all of that, guarantee you that they derive information that they obviously cherish because of the fact that you put everything through 10 tenths. You spare nothing.
Right.
And so, like I said, racing all along, I mean, look at the aerodynamic aspect too. I mean, not only arriving at the point of reaching the downforce aspect, to be able to increase the cornering speeds, but also it's the drag factor. I mean, even in stock cars, look at the amount of work that they do in wind tunnel, realizing, just how to make the car efficient, aerodynamically. And a lot of that is learned. That's why the design of the beautiful new sedans, all of a sudden to make them fuel efficient, obviously they have to slip through the air. And there's a beauty to them because all of us that, the silhouette, the profiles, obviously are learned very well, and I like to think, through the racing, and it's handed down. I'm sure that many of the designers I've talked so much, with Ed Walburn especially, and he's a real racer at heart. So you can tell he applies a lot of that, through, in the production aspect of his work. And so for sure, motor racing contributed tremendously, especially early on. I like to think that modern times in the automotive world began probably in the late 50s and going into the 60s. In the 60s and 70s, that's when we started getting, you're looking at the engine dynamics, suspension dynamics, aerodynamics. All of that was beginning to really take place and accelerate into our world. And it all just was handed down to production sooner or later in one way or another.